Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Random Review Squad. This video is about the recent Google event, the launch in night or something like that. I don't know why they called it that, but yeah. It was a cool event. I'm trying to adjust my. This video is about the Google event, basically what went down and all the new things, and what I think is gonna happen in the future. I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Review Squad. The first thing that they released was the Nest Audio, another version of their Google Home. It's got no screen, it's got no other interfaces on it. It's purely speaker. Apparently, it's more of a sound-focused product than any of the other products out there. So they focus really on the sound. They even brought in Mark Ronson for some reason, and then this whole conversation about sound design and all that. So if you're in the market for a Google Home and you want good speakers in your house, the Nest Audio is something you should look into. Definitely. Okay, but I'm not going to go too much into detail about that because sound is a very preferential thing. So some people might like it, some people may not. But the main features about it is like, you can have a group of speakers, you can move around the house, you can say, hey Google, move the sound to the kitchen, and then the song plays in the kitchen, or you can move it to wherever, and then yeah, it already does that. So, if you want better speakers, you would get those. I think they are priced at about $135 and they should be coming out October 5th. Next thing they talked about was YouTube TV and Google TV. So Google TV is like their upgraded interface, and like it's got basically an Apple TV looking design or user interface. But you can't really say it's an Apple TV looking thing because most of these UIs or user interfaces or user experience designs are all based off certain data and certain shapes and certain looks produce about the best results in this day and age. To a certain extent, Apple does that because it's not out of the whim, right? It's not because, hey, you know what? Hey, this one look nice, so we're just gonna put it like this. Hey, you know what? This shape look quite dope, look patas, so we're gonna put it in. No, it's not like that. There's a lot of research done, there's a lot of surveys done, there's a lot of data collected from you guys to decide the designs and to see what would be effective in getting a job done. I'll probably get to see Google TV on my Sony Bravia TV. So if you're getting the Chromecast or you have an already pre-installed Android TV in your TV, you would have these services. Google TV would come to you. All right, and then they have this thing called YouTube TV, which is actually all the TV channels on YouTube, like NBC, Nickelodeon, and some other stuff, or some shows on YouTube TV. Now, I was thinking if this is going to replace StarHub cable TV and Singtel Mio TV. I don't know whether it's still Mio TV, but I think that's what it is. I was thinking, you know what, maybe we should do that. We should get YouTube TV and then replace StarHub TV because YouTube TV is probably going to be cheaper, right? It's like less than $20 for 6 people, right? So you can use in 6 different accounts, which is great. Then I thought about it. My parents still watch shows like on Tamil TV, like it's called Vijay TV, they have Sun TV and all that. So they still watch Tamil shows, and YouTube TV does not have support for multilingual shows yet, as far as I've noticed. So yeah, that's a bummer really. I'll just take a look at it, see if it's good. Maybe in the future we'll think about it. Hopefully YouTube TV is paired with YouTube Premium as well, so you don't have to pay 2 different prices for that. That would be kind of stupid. But yeah, they released the Chromecast, or the new version of Chromecast, and a Google TV remote. So the remote actually looks like standard Google TV remotes out there, like a Sony TV remote, or like, but it's just shortened down, smaller, just for Google functions. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's probably going to be priced at around $100 plus lah. I mean, maybe they'll sell it in a set. It looks like they'll sell it in a set based on the images out there. Google TV is able to do 4K output with HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision. There's also Dolby Atmos, DTS, and Dolby Digital Plus surround sound support. It's got 4GB of storage for apps and games, and it's got official Google Stadia support, which I think will be a big thing eventually when we get gaming going, like with Google Stadia. The 2 big things, the Pixel 4, right? So this is the Pixel 4 XL. I've been using this for about a year now, right? So they just released the Pixel 4a and they released the Pixel 4a a while back, which was $399 SGD, and now they've released the Pixel 4a 5G, which is probably going to be like $150 more than the Pixel 4a, right? Because in the US it's $150 more than their Pixel 4a. but here it's going to be probably $550. Yeah, $550 for the Pixel 4a5. And the Pixel 5 is going to be about $1,000. Yeah, because it's priced $699 there. Usually whatever is priced $699 there, here it's about $1,000. So let's talk about the Pixel 4a 5G first. So those of you who have the Pixel 4a, this is an updated version. So the Pixel 4a 5G is actually, the specs released this year are a bit weird. The Pixel 4a 5G is about 6.2 inches. It's got the Snapdragon 765G. It's not a premium tier processor, but it's still good enough. It's still actually pretty good, right? It's got 6 gigs of RAM, which is equivalent to what I have here in their premium 4XL. It's got 3800 mAh, which is equivalent to the 4XL battery for their 4a 5G, okay? So finally, they've made some right choices in that sense. It's got 2 rear cameras. One is the standard wide angle lens, 12.2 megapixel one, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide lens. Okay, finally they are releasing an ultra wide lens. So thank you, Google, but I'm pissed that I don't have it in my phone. It's got a 60 Hz screen. It's FHD plus, which is pretty. I think that's enough. 60 Hz usually, but if you are already on a 90 Hz screen or a 120 Hz screen, I don't think you want to downgrade because that's not really going to help. 128 GB of storage, which is good because this one only has 64 gig, which is really a downside. Like 64 gigs really very hard to survive, especially for a content creator who's trying to make a lot of videos. This is like my secondary camera, and like to wait for it to upload to cloud and then take pictures or take videos and then run out of space again. And WhatsApp is filling up all the space on the phone, so there's a whole lot of issues with that. Of course, another big thing on this phone is it comes with a headphone jack, right? You cannot deny the fact that wired earpieces are still better than Bluetooth earpieces. It's still much better sound quality, much cheaper, right? So this headphone jack on the 4a 5G is a big plus. It's always going to be a big plus when you have a 3.5mm jack. Okay, now let's talk about the Pixel 5. It's got a 90 Hz screen still. Alright, it's 6 inch in fact. It's smaller than the Pixel 4a 5G. It's a 6 inch phone, or 6 inch screen display. It's got 90 Hz, FHD OLED display. It's got the same Snapdragon 765G as the Pixel 4a 5G. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, right, which is finally, right, we have this much RAM, we can do much more things, and it's equivalent to some of the premium flagships out there. Okay, it's got a little above 4000 mAh battery life, or battery size. Okay, so the adaptive display kind of helps with the battery life, and thankfully 128 gigs of storage. Okay, please don't go below 128 gigs of storage. Get it from me who still has a 64 gig phone. Don't do it. Okay, I think 128 gigs of storage really helps, especially if you're a content creator. Okay, camera setup is the same camera setup as the 4a 5G. Okay, it's the same camera setup, 12.2 megapixel wide angle and a 16 megapixel ultra wide. Front camera is a 8 megapixel camera. Okay, but there's no headphone jack. It's also IP68 water resistant, and it's got Qi wireless charging, which means it's got reverse charging, it's got normal wireless charging. You can wireless charge all your other products on your Pixel phone as well. But to be honest, with that battery size, I think keep the battery for the phone. Okay, don't go and charge it. Now, it's surprising, right? This phone is actually almost the same as the 4a 5G. It's just got 2 gigs more RAM. I think the design is a bit more, it's got a different color in that sense. Both have the fingerprint sensor, and both no longer have face unlock, if I'm not wrong. And the Pixel 5 has reverse wireless charging, but the 4a 5G does not. But it's priced at $699 USD, which is probably going to be $1,000 here. Initially, the difference between the 4A or the A version and the normal version is the processor. Because the processor, and you get much more premium build quality, but the build quality is about the same, and the processor is the same. You just have like 1 or 2 features which are different. In fact, the 4A 5G has a bigger display, but not 90 Hz, right? So you get that debate. You gotta keep going back and forth. Decide. I'm sure there are some features that I haven't covered that are probably in the Pixel 5, right, that is better than the Pixel 4a 5G. You can see that Google is trying to go away from the hardware heavy components, trying to keep it mid-range so that it's accessible to everyone, which I think is applaudable. Good, go ahead, do that. We want cheaper phones, we want better phones for cheaper prices. The iPhone 12 is coming up as well, so we gotta so-called pitch it against that. The camera, of course, is still as usual one of the best out there because of the AI and the algorithm. Now with the ultra wide, it's a huge, it's so-called come up to level the playing field. Is this thing they call portrait light, right? Portrait light is amazing. It's insane what it does. Basically, it's this artificial light that you can put in your photo to light up my face using the AI algorithm that they have, which is insane. Like, no phones do that, and that's why Google has like still a certain amount of demand in the market because of these features that only Google can offer. Of course, now they brought night sight to portrait mode as well, so that's pretty good. You can take selfies in the dark, in the club. That's a plus. And they've also added a cinematic pan to the video, so I guess their video stabilization has improved. If they're adding something like cinematic pan to their phone, it's got to have a certain amount of video stabilization, good video stabilization. The last time when they pit the iPhone 11 Pro against Pro Max against the Pixel 4 XL, the Pro Max had much better video stabilization compared to the Pixel 4 XL. So I'm hoping that the current setup has much better video stabilization as well. Of course, there's no Pixel Neural Core on the phone as well. So this Pixel Neural Core actually helps with image processing and much quicker image processing. I don't know, really miss that for that small amount of time. I guess, yeah, sometimes you want to have the images pop up much faster when you're showing it to people, instead of just standing there and waiting for it to load and kind of process the image. That's about it. They also showed off a little bit of Google Stadia with the controller and all that, but I think it'll be a while before it comes out in Singapore, probably until 5G is rolled out. I think Stadia is coming out to Japan first. We are getting the phones here first on October 15th, and US is getting them on October 29th. So if you like this content, please leave a like and smash the subscribe button. If you got any comments about the Google Live event or anything about this video, you can leave your comments down in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Reviews.